look away from the train wreck. You can blame it on the tech or the disrespect. If you play better, button check. Button check.
What is up, Butt Check family? Welcome back to yet again a beautiful day of checking these buttons. Chapters down below if you want to skip around, as always, sub button right there on the race to 70K. So much stuff going on. EVO Japan right around the corner. But in the meantime, we got to check these buttons. Ladies and gents, let's go. And now it's time for them beautiful sponsor buttons. That's right, believe it or not, Manscaped has sponsored this video, and I've been waiting to prove it to you that I've been waiting. My beard, y'all know, look at any of the videos in the last month. I've been looking like straight shit, like a caveman, right? And I did it on purpose because I knew I was gonna get this thing, and I've been waiting to trim myself. And I know y'all been talking shit. Nesto, your mustache is crooked. I seen the comments, you know what I'm saying? So I know I haven't been looking that good.
Yeah, you look like shit.
Well, that's fucked up. Thanks for that, babe. What I'm trying to say is I finally got it, y'all. The Beard Hedger from Manscaped, and we're about to unbox it and get into it. So here we go, bam. The Beard Hedger. Man, this got so many cool features, man. It's kind of lightweight. It does have some weight to it, though. It's waterproof. You can actually use it in the shower. I don't know why you would. Maybe you want to go downstairs, you know what I'm saying? Maybe even further to the basement. I don't know what the hell the basement would be. But anyway, what I'm saying, you can use it in the water. On top of that, it charges, it has a battery life of 60 minutes, and it has 3 different power levels to let you know when it's about to be time to recharge. If you're anything like me, you probably have your own supply and you do your own edge ups, maybe even your own haircut sometimes. And it's probably cheap products, right? We all have them. I have like $10 ones, $20 ones, and they wear out real quick or they don't work, right? And you have a lot of clippers. You have a lot of different numbers, and they get all over the damn restroom or underneath the sink like mine. Now, you just got one. This one right here, not only in the back, you can see all the different levels right there. Up to 20, and on top of that, you may be thinking, well, what if you just want the blade? It comes right off, bam. So once again, big up to the beautiful people at Manscaped and all the viewers for making this possible, man. And to thank you guys, 20% off. The promo code today is button check on the screen and link down below. Definitely check it out. You can do either or, right? Promo code button check, save 20% off. Not only that, you get free international shipping. Come on, man. So remember, everybody, it's Manscaped. Your boss will thank you, and so will your girl.
Thank you, Manscaped.
You're welcome, baby. All right, first up, for them fight sticks going extinct and me feeling too damn old, buttons that need to be checked. Okay, so this was posted, I think just yesterday, or by the time I'm recording this, right? We all know there's a new generation, right, that's slowly creeping into the FGC. It's been, obviously it happens every time, right? But with the era of new games, we got new blood coming on in, and it seems like things are surely changing, just like modern controls and everything else. New times, new changes. And another interesting discussion that was going on, it looks like that 2XKO, right? We talked about them the other day. They released, I guess, a beginning guide for EVO Japan. Somebody by the name of Spideraxe? I'll put it on the screen right now. They posted this, right? Saying 2XKO beginner's guide for EVO Japan. Let's click on it right here. So you see beginner's combos. You can see right there, LMH, S1, S2, right? But if you go to the side, you keep going. Now, clearly you see the hitbox here, then you see the pad right, and it got the layout there, obviously, right? So we keep going, bam, and then it got some more instructions here, solo, duo, kind of cool, right? Keep going, bam, and it got the champions I believe that they're gonna be able to use this weekend at EVO. And that's it, that's a wrap. But if you notice down below, everybody's like, there's no graphic for levered, so it's over, right? Keeping going down here saying, game looks so cool, but I can't get over how bad the name is. Well, okay, of course, I agree with that, but that's for another video, right? Then it pretty much continues on, right? I'll put more on the screen. There's a lot of people like, okay, no instructions for stick, based, or where's the instruction? Y'all get it, right? So it starts a discussion and people are like, okay, so what does this mean? The future of sticks is slowly getting, outdated. I saw Broski post this saying, all future fighting games will have a graphic for pad users, a graphic for levelless users, and a map of the retirement home for stick users. Lucky that stick players are... This one says, you're lucky that all stick players are too old to know how to work Twitter. Damn, shots fired, right? And then it keeps going, right? There you go. They're trying to make it hard for beginner pad players. What is that? Tag mechanics on the X button. Oh, that's something else. But you get it right here. I'll put them right here. But yeah, it kind of feels like a weird time because when I started, I mean, I'm an 09er basically, right? But when we first got in, pad was the best thing, the greatest thing since sliced bread, because we were like, holy shit. You could have a fucking controller that's shaped like the arcade cabinet. Like I could just sit it on my lap. That's what I was used to. It was very hard for me to adapt to the PlayStation or Xbox controllers when it came to fighting games, because there was a huge gap that I, played. The last time I played fighting game was like Super Nintendo, you know what I'm saying? Then I took a huge break and I came back when Ultra was dropped, as far as like the Street Fighter series. I played Third Strike a little bit, but anyway, that's besides the point. When I came back and I saw that arcade sticks existed, I was like, I have to have one. I don't care how much it costs. This is the shit, right? And then everybody had to have one. Everybody was selling them. I mean, it was everything. They even made fun of you if you didn't have one. Like if you won with the pad, they kind of looked at you like, holy shit, this guy can actually win with the pad? And then somewhere, slowly but surely, it started shifting to where a lot of stick companies were going out of business. They're just too damn expensive, you know what I'm saying? And then leverless creeping in, and then pads doing the damn thing, holding it down all these years, and a bunch of pad players, Mena, everybody else just kept winning. And let me know, do you think this is an old head thing? And I call myself an old head, you know what I'm saying? But I grew up in the arcade days. So to me, I still love the stick. I respect leverless, right? I have a hitbox and whatnot. One of my favorites is the cross up. I like that a lot. But good old fashioned arcade stick, to me, that's what makes sense to me, you know? And then you look at ROGs, right? Like your Gutex, your Mike Ross, your Yipes, Justins, your Daigos, you know what I'm saying? They're still here. They're that good, right? But they're all like grown-ass men with families, married, and a lot of them doing content more than anything else. And we're all like late 30s, touching our 40s, or shit, some even touching 50. Anyway, when it's all said and done, arcade sticks, I mean, they're still here, but how much longer do they got on that shelf life? Let me know. All right, next up, for all gamers getting blamed for the housing market crash. Am I fucking hearing this right? Buttons that need to be checked. First of all, I want to thank Magic Penpo, if I'm saying that correctly, for tagging me in the story. I appreciate that, man. He's like, yo, they always got to blame us for something. We've seen a lot of this, right? We had presidents blame us for violence, among other things, you know what I'm saying? And now somehow they're connecting dots saying that gamers are responsible for like the housing crash or some shit like that. Let's unpack it. All right, so somebody by the name of Meredith Whitney, right? The one-time Oracle of Wall Street who predicted the great financial crisis, doesn't mince her words. Young single men living at home and playing video games are behind the crisis of the American male, she explained in an interview with Fortune. Then here's a picture of her right here saying the Oracle of Wall Street expands on why the crisis of American male will send home prices crashing 30%. Gaming, rampant loneliness, and not enough single women homebuyers. All right, getting into the article right here saying her theory about dateless spiraling young men ends with home prices declining for years or even decades. Whitney sees home prices falling 30%, but it's not the end of the world in her mind because of how much pricing went up during the pandemic-fueled housing boom. There's so much equity stored up in American homes, there's no collateral damage from that. People then, on paper, are worth less than they thought they were, Whitney said. It sounds dramatic, but it's really not that dramatic because you've had so much massive inflation from the zero interest rate policy. A lot of young men are single. A study from the Pew Research Center found last year more than 60% of men under 30 described themselves as unattached in a survey conducted by the Pew Research Center. Whitney referred to her analysis and her thinking. The aforementioned study also found that the share of single men in the country looking to date or be in a relationship has declined since 2019, which Whitney alluded to and emphasized that a portion of young men, single men, haven't had sex in the past year and don't seem to be bothered by it. Haven't had sex in a year and not bothered by it. Who the hell are these men? Where you finding these men? Continuing on, saying more men are living at home with their parents and for longer too. A 2016 report from the Pew Research Center found young men were more likely to live at home with mom and dad than a partner. So where does this all stem from? Mid-2000 video games, in Whitney's mind, you have an ability to feel like you're gaming with a group of friends or a community, but you're really just at home alone, she said. So the socialization of the young American male really started to break down significantly around that time. According to Whitney, as gaming went up, so did malaise, noting a despondency and rampant loneliness amongst young men. In a recent note her advisory group produced, the gaming explosion was driven by technological improvements advancements and the growing popularity of gaming on iPhone, and it coincided with a poor job market. Combined, these forces have created a cohort of young men who don't know how to socialize. In their view, gaming and social isolation are somewhat a vicious cycle in which the lack of real social contact creates a sense of social unease, making real social contact much more uncomfortable, the note states. Last year, an analysis found that 65% of Americans played video games, and that equated to more than 200 million weekly players, and a 2015 report from the Pew Research Center found that 77% of young men play video games more than any other demographic. She said something similar before, only it was about sports betting. Unless you're creating a household, there's no reason to buy a house, Whitney said, touching on household formations and birth rates. Before the pandemic, household growth over the previous decade was the lowest ever recorded. Before the pandemic, household growth over the previous decade was the lowest ever recorded, per Pew, but another account shows a surge in household growth from 2019 to 2021. Damn, that's a lot. Okay, let's unpack this. Like I said, there's more of the article, definitely click it. But in a nutshell, what she's saying is like, you know, there's not a lot of people purchasing homes as there would be because video games have taken men off the market. You know, like women are still out there because they're saying obviously men are the majority of the demographic. Women are more likely to purchase a home by themselves. A man, from what they're saying, is usually more likely to purchase a home when they're building a family, which in a way obviously does make sense, right? But they're also saying because a man is too occupied playing video games, and somehow the mental has been twisted in a way to feel like, oh, I have a social network here, I have friends here, I have things here, so now I'm plugged into the matrix, right? To video games, that has therefore made us socially awkward, fucked up into the sense where we're detached from that. We're okay, like right here, they said there's a big percentage of men that are not dating, that are calling themselves unattached, and that are actually okay. They went a year without having sex and they're okay. Okay, so chances are if you're watching this channel, you're a gamer, right? So I don't have to convince you, right? I don't have to just say something so you'd be like, yeah, I never thought about that, because probably you're already thinking what I'm thinking, right? And here's what I'm thinking. Obviously, you can say yes, gaming has created communities, obviously, right? On YouTube, what I'm doing right now, on Twitch, you know what I'm saying, on Twitter, wherever you're streaming and whatnot, right? We know this, but it also has created communities like you see right now at EVO Japan, EVO Las Vegas, convention centers, cons and all that. People are friends. People are getting married. You know what I'm saying? People are socializing in a way more than ever because they're meeting people. Hell, with this channel alone, I've met people across the world that I never would have talked to. And at one point or another, some of them I've actually met face to face. And some of them I actually call close friends. So yes, at the end of the day, you can say that some are introverted and whatnot and they stay in the house. But let's be real. If video games did not exist and you were introverted anyway, you probably would have found something else to keep you in the house. Let's be real. You probably would have found something else to keep you living at mom and pop's. If it wasn't video games, it was gonna be something else. How you choose to use the video games is up to you. Yes, I guess it could be negative. There's the stories of the players where they're playing like 15 hours a day and they're peeing on themselves and shit, and they're like literally fucking having strokes and shit because they're just addicted or they don't want to quit. Yes, definitely 100% negative, right? But on the flip side, all the examples that we just shared, there's so much more. Those that really game have truly seen the positive side. But to blame it on like the market or the housing crash is fucking wild. You know what I'm saying? Because we love the games, it makes us want to stay in the cocoon longer, and therefore we don't buy houses no more. You know what I'm saying? How many people, grown-ass men in the FGC, do you know that has a family, that has a home, that has an apartment, that's doing it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's too many to count. And the last thing I'll say about this is, where the hell is you finding the men that are not having sex for a year and okay with it? Let's be real, because we real when we check these buttons. Yes, obviously there's people out there that probably haven't had sex in a year. We know that. Are they okay with it? Hell no, they're not okay with it. You know why? Because they're doing other stuff. Ain't nobody just totally just abstinent at home. Well, you know, it's a great day here. I'm all backed up, but hey, it's fine. They got jizz coming out the eyeballs and shit. Look, what I'm saying is they're finding other ways to relieve it. That's what they're doing. They've accepted certain things or partook in certain things to relieve it otherwise. They're not okay with not having sex. They're just getting their needs met in a different manner. Okay, damn, I'm winded. This was a lot. Anyway, how y'all feeling? Let me know. There it is one more time. Thank you guys for the amazing love, man. We will see you soon. If not tomorrow, definitely the next day. One more time, big up to the sponsor, Manscaped. I've been waiting for so long for this sponsor, man, and it finally came, and I want to thank you guys for making it possible. We got through April with sponsors, and I want to promise you I will never do this many sponsors again. It was too much. It was too much. It was so much work. I also took on a second channel, so it was a lot. You know what I'm saying? We will have sponsors, don't get me wrong, because it helps me do this full time, and without it I can't. You know what I'm saying? But I promise you I will never have this many sponsors in 1 month. It's just too action-packed. That's why, if you notice, this last week, I've eased on the gas with that because I knew Manscaped was coming. So I was like, all right, we gonna give it to Manscaped only. So anyway, thank you guys again for everything. And like I said, EVO Japan right around the corner, and a new giveaway gonna be announced this Sunday. Love y'all forever, as always. I don't know what it is, but I know it's about to get better. Yeah, I said it. Love y'all forever. Peace.
Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe.
They're not okay with not having sex. They're just getting their needs met in a different manner. Because let's be real, sometimes at the end of the day, ain't nobody gonna love you like you. And sometimes you need a little loving. And it might be a last minute thing, and nobody's available, and you ain't got no gas money. You don't want to swipe left or swipe right or whatever that shit. And you just gotta handle business. You gotta literally you gotta do what you gotta do.
Fine. I'll do it myself.